necessarily through like the art, but just like moving from a place like Taiwan to America.
Well, I think any immigrant would tell you it's a language barrier. I think that
Mm,
is the hardest thing because, um, I mean, I touched upon a little bit in my book, Parachute Kids, and in the beginning. The book is fiction because I think what my life wasn't that interesting. And so I wanted to embellish a little bit, include a lot of other people's experiences, other immigrants' experiences. So it's fiction. But there is definitely a piece of me in there, especially at the beginning of the main character, the Funny, the 10-year-old, and her experience of starting school in America, right? Not knowing a word of English, and it was absolutely my experience where I was we went to Thousand Oaks, Ventura County, which is a predominantly white community, I think.
mhm.
And so I was sat next to this one Chinese girl. This, I think, the only Chinese girl. They put me next to her because I didn't know English, and so they thought she would take care of me. But then I was popular for about maybe 5 minutes, and I remember inching up to the kids who are showing each other like new stickers, and I looked down, and they're kind of like, you know, go
Wow.
away. I think so. That's the hardest thing, right? For any kid, not just immigrant kids, moving from state to state, just city to city, just go to a new school. It's always a scary, horrible first day experience now. And so
Mhm.
that, I think that was the hardest part, just making friends.
Yeah. And you know what's so interesting? Like making friends at a young age is it can be so difficult. I
Yeah.
think I teach second grade right now, and I feel like it's a little bit easier when you're little. If you come from a different place outside of like the rest of your community at that school, it can be a little bit different. But as you get to middle school and high school, I find with students, they become a little bit more self conscious, a little bit more anxiety driven, and it's so hard to connect. It's so hard to connect with people because you don't want to be judged. You want to come off with a first impression. So I hear you when you say going into like that new space and how it can be so difficult to just make a connection, let alone even